My name is Zaid, and this is my 11-year fitness journey. At the age of 17, I walked into the YMCA, skinny fat, intimidated, not knowing what the fuck a weight even was. I started on some random program with my buddy. We went in there 5 days a week, worked out like madmen. Even if we didn't know what we were doing, we were still getting after it. So about 6 to 12 months into that, I started putting on a significant amount of muscle. So much so that everybody around me was like, what is happening to you, bro? You were skinny just 6 months ago. How do you look so fucking big? Part of it was because I was lifting like a madman in the gym, and part of it was because I was eating a lot and I had good genetics. So mix that all together and you get a pretty radical change. I was getting so many compliments and or people asking me questions about my physique that I decided, hey, I could make some fucking money off this. So at the age of 18, 1 year after I started working out, I launched my first fitness program locally to my Facebook friends and people that I knew in real life. And I sold the program for like $50. It was a 12-week program. It was mainly an online program, but I didn't discriminate. I would pull up to people's houses sometimes and train them just to get good feedback and for them to pay me that measly $50. But when you're 18, you're fucking hungry. And when you start seeing something work online, you just double down and do whatever it takes to make it work. Then about 3 to 5 months, I made $5,000 and I quit it. I just got wrapped up in other things and decided, it wasn't worth it anymore. I started doing something else. But I still continued to work out like a madman. And by the age of 20, I was peak lean, at least for me, starting. I'd never been that lean ever in my life. I saw abs that I never even knew existed. And I was like, holy shit, this is powerful. I feel fucking amazing. I would go to country concerts in the middle of summer, take my shirt off. I would have women, really attractive women, sometimes twice my age, come up to me and be like, yo, I want a photo. Who are you? I like how you look. You're hot. You're this, you're that. I wish I had a fucking GoPro on my head. You guys would be shocked. And it was the first time ever getting that amount of attention for my body or for anything in general. I was shocked. It was like a blind man seeing. I was like, there's another fucking world that exists when you are confident and have a good body. That world is not only making money with your physique, it's also with women and being confident in general. And it was on full display, I think summer of when I was 20 years old. It was nuts. Bro, I would leave these concerts with a fucking head this big. It was insanity. At the age of 24, I picked up running, long distance running. Every day I would go out for a 10-mile run. I still do that to this day. I'm 28 now. So I mixed running with weightlifting, with dieting clean, and then I got the peak physique by the age of 25. The physique that I always wanted. Back then, I was either too bulked or too skinny. At the age of 25, I finally reached a good balance of bulk, but at the same time lean. I had muscle mass, but I was super shredded at the same time. And I was posting my routine on my Instagram page, and I would constantly get questions like, yo, how do you run this much and still have that much muscle? How the fuck are you doing this, bro? How do you look like this when you're doing all that? And I was like, damn, another opportunity to make some fucking money. So at the age of 27, I decided to revive a dead Instagram page. It had about 30,000 followers and half of them were bots. I'm not even gonna lie. I decided to go full on fitness mode and I started posting videos about my routine, my long distance running, my weightlifting, and in about 3 months, I built a following up to about 100,000. And then I launched my one-on-one program. It was a 3-month program online. And within the first month of launching, I made $16.5 thousand fucking dollars, and I had no idea what I was even doing. It was crazy to me because when I was 18 selling a $50 program for the same duration, I was showing up to motherfuckers' houses training them in person. Now I could train everybody online and charge them $1,000. It was the best of both worlds. It was amazing. Since launching, I've made well over $100,000 training people online, getting people better physiques. I've recently stopped training people to transition to showing people how to build an audience and then monetize their audience in the fitness niche exactly as I did. If there's one thing I could prescribe anybody to make their life better with just a single thing, I'm telling you, everything in my life changed once I got in shape. I started making more money. Women were more attracted to me. I started making better friends. I started gaining more respect from my colleagues. Everything fucking changed. I mean, when I can make $100,000 advertising my physique, that should say enough to you. When I can have women walk up to me walk up to me. That's not even a thing for men. Most men will never encounter that in their entire life. And I would encounter it every single time I would take my shirt off at a concert, not just by one, not by two, but dozens. And not only that, you attract better people in your life, people that are more regimented and have a better discipline. They see you and they're like, I want to be around that person. There's one thing you can do is get into shape. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And on the flip side, if you are in good shape, monetize that shit. You could make so much fucking money by selling your program online to people that don't know what they're doing. And a lot of people think, I can't really sell it. You know, the information's out there. People can get it. It doesn't matter. People are fucking lazy. They don't want to go search for it. They want someone to spoon feed them exactly what to do. And that's exactly what I found out when I started doing this, because I had the same thought. I was like, bro, the information's out there. Why would someone buy $1,000 program from me? Simple. Number one, they want to look like me. They want my specific physique. They like my videos. And number two, they're too fucking lazy to do it themselves. And that's why anybody does anything. There's always an alternative way to do something instead of paying for it. But most people would rather pay for it just so they can get it injected into them easier. So everything comes in one fatal swoop rather than them going in 15 different places and having to look this up, look that up, do this or do that. So if you have a good physique, just start posting videos on IG. Use shorts. That's what I did. And just post videos of you working out, you flexing, just show people your physique. And you don't have to have a significant following. I was selling to my fucking Facebook friends when I first began when I was 18. I had like 1,000 friends and I was still making money. On IG, it's a different world because you can reach people that aren't local that have a lot of fucking money. If they like your physique, they will inquire. Just start posting. And on a long enough time frame, you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be curious as to how you got that physique, just like I did. I hope this motivates you guys to get in shape. I genuinely do, because it's changed my life in every way, shape, and form. And if you are in shape and wanna monetize your physique and potentially make it your full-time job, because you certainly can, I put together a step-by-step system as to how I did it from point A to point Z. And after you go through this program, you'll understand how to make your first $1,000 and then be able to make as much as your fucking heart desires, because all you gotta do is rinse and repeat that system. Link is in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.